Welcome back, people. It is episode 2 of season 5 of the Taxi Squad podcast. Before we get into it, please subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, do the thing. No matter the platform you're listening to, we got a fair amount to get into today. Strange and unusual topics, people being paid money to do other people. Also, Joy Taylor is the resident FS1 queen. We'll see. Maybe the madam. Now, we got a fair amount to talk about on the college football front. We do have our Final Four, and it is truly electric. We give you our picks there, and we also get a little preview of the national championship and also where some transfer quarterbacks might be going in the year of 2025. We have soccer talk, NBA talk. Jimmy Butler may be on the move. And of course, an NFL recap and our playoff picks. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back. It's the Taxi Squad. Yeah.
Vince,
hey,
happy week number 2 of this beautiful new year. How are you?
Dude, I'm so good.
It's good.
It's a big day for me today, aka the day that this comes out.
Yeah,
it's a big day because my Notre Dame Fighting Irish are playing in the semifinals to try to get to the national championship, and we'll talk about that shortly. But that's all I've been thinking about this week. I've been a one-set mind. I've been taking care of my doctor's appointments. I've been going to the dentist. Got a cavity filled. Went to the eye doctor because I have to get contacts, which is why I've been wearing specs the last couple days or last couple pods.
Look at him. He looks fresh in the glasses, though.
Yeah, they do. They are gold to match the jewelry.
Oh, sassy. I dig it.
You know how I be.
Yeah.
Things are good over here. It's officially finally real Chicago winter. That's about it.
Ooh, so it's cold and depressing.
Yeah, it's a good 15, 20 degrees outside right now. So
that's life, babe. I don't miss that. Did you get any other doctor's appointments? Did you go cough?
I'd have to go do that. I don't need to get my butthole checked, but I do need to go in and get a bit of a physical and that kind of
get
stuff,
some blood done.
Gotta go do all that.
Do you do that yearly?
I don't.
Because I know I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I should at some point, but I'm thinking in my 20s I'm probably okay, and then we'll see what happens when I'm 30.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point now. I'm 33. I haven't been to a doctor in probably a year and a half. So.
Yeah. Well, you're having heart palpitations now, so...
Not having heart palpitations. I strained my pectoral muscle.
Yeah, share with the people that you have a raw heart and we can't laugh. That's what I was told. People of the internet. That's what I was told when we got here. He's like, my heart is broken. I can no longer laugh or it's going to make me cry. My heart hurts and I can't laugh. I can no longer laugh.
I took it a little too far and I strained my left pectoral muscle.
Yeah, Mike got too swole.
When you strain your pectoral,
okay,
it feels potentially like you might be having a grabber, but you're not.
Italian slang for heart attack, in case people are wondering.
Yes, because you get this pain in your chest, and you're like, well, this is it. But then you also do your homework, and you're like, well, I don't have a rapid heart rate, and I don't feel as if I'm sweating my face off and nauseous and all the things that come with it. You
don't smell, what is it? You smell garlic or some shit?
No, that's if you're having a stroke. You smell like something's burning.
Oh,
they claim
yeah.
You smell burning.
Okay.
So.
Glad you're not having a stroke. Glad none of that's the case. But
Me either, man. Yeah, no, it's lovely.
Leave the athletics to the professionals is what they're saying.
No, you got to get back on the wagon. You know,
yep.
I prior to last night, I hadn't had any alcohol in the new year, so I went a full week.
You went
of dryness.
7 days, 6.5 days.
I went 7 days.
Okay,
like the ring
ish
and ish. And
what day is it today?
Today is going to the 8th,
January the 8th, and then yesterday you drank.
Yeah. I didn't drink on the 1st. Technically. Technically.
Well, like after midnight?
Well, if you count like after
it's
midnight
like
because you went
6.5
to
days.
sleep.
Let's be real.
Because you went to
Let's
sleep.
look at
It's 7.
it.
Fuck
That's
you.
not how that works. That's not how that works. That is bullshit.
Fuck you. I can bend time the way I want to. I'm like those
yourself.
goofy
Come on.
assholes on those business podcasts.
Marty McFly
I live
looking
5
ass
days
over
in
there.
one.
Marty McFly looking
I live
ass
5
over
days
there.
in one.
Whatever, dude. I don't need to hear
I
it.
live
Motherfuckers in the Matrix
Vince, I live
right now.
5 days and you're 1 day. I wake up at 7 a.m. and then I work a day. And then I go from 12 to 4 and there's another day.
I love those. You wake up at 4.
And then from 4 to 8.
Yeah.
I mean,
I optimize my day by having 4
week.
different days.
I'm kicking your ass.
Yeah. I have 4 weeks in one. Yeah, it's some lame. Yeah, that's 6.5 days though, but I'm sorry to tell you.
By the way, Vince, if you didn't have an income property by the time you were 6.5, you are a failure. Just saying.
I'm a failure. Oh no. Do you feel like you needing to work out and get ripped maybe is because you're expecting a offer to the tune of $1.5 million to sell yourself to get on TV? Give or take?
I mean, it just depends who's trying to give me that 1.5.
How about a strong old man that loves the Dallas Cowboys? How about that?
It's gonna be a no for me, dog.
You don't think Bayless can have you for a night?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. You know who maybe for free?
Who
would
maybe?
Maybe for
I don't know
sure.
if it's a maybe. It's a for sure.
Well, after these allegations, maybe not.
Yeah.
But it'd be a tough press. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's like the 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine after they're all done. Ran through, buddy. That's what I got to say about that.
Yeah, that thing's probably gonna hang a little like the sleeve of Wizard, but man, if she was like, "Hey, I like the pod, and what are you trying to do tonight?" And I might just be like,
and you'd be like, "I have a wife. I would never."
Yeah, correct. I'd be like, "I have a wife. You should go talk to my friend Vince."
Yeah,
and then I'd be like, "Vince, I need the Cliff Notes."
I'd be like,
"I need the."
It would be a joy. It would be a
Notes.
joy to entertain that. For those of you that don't know,
nice play on words.
Thank you. For those of you that don't know, and you probably should if you're listening to this program, but Fox is under some scrutiny, specifically Fox Sports, for allegations against Charlie Dixon, who's one of their executives for their content team, Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, Emmanuel Acho, among others. There's a lawsuit going on that this one hairdresser stylist lady was offered $1.5 million by Skip Bayless to sleep with her. Also alleging that Joy Taylor essentially slept her way to the top, and that's why she hosts shows. One notable thing about a guy that we don't talk about that often on the show in a positive light, Colin Cowherd, supposedly a stand-up individual. No issues on his end. No issues on his end. Stand-up individual.
Same thing with Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp actually on his podcast.
I swear to Christ, he's the one that did this.
No, he claims where's Shannon? In his word, where's Shannon Sharp's name in their lawsuit? Nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
I'm innocent.
I think he's the one that kind of was like, yeah, put that in there because he had some spite getting out of there in Fox. He didn't like it.
No, and then Jason Whitlock comes out and basically very it was creepy how he
weirdly
described Joy Taylor's
skin
peanut butter
tone.
skin.
Yeah, peanut butter skin.
And her peanut butter skin and huge titties, basically, is what he said.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're
for sure. That's a thing.
I'm just saying. She shows them.
It gets viewers on TV, bud. It does.
I mean, it does. I mean, I think the herd viewership simply went up on just what outfit Joy was going to wear that week.
Yeah.
I personally believe that it's interesting. So if you dig into the lawsuit, basically Joy Taylor and this hairstylist, Miss Fajima.
Is that her first name?
No, that's her last name.
Is Faraji your first name?
No.
No, you
Or
just
is
made
it
up a name.
Faraji?
You made up
Faraji.
Nushin
Fajima
Faraji.
Faraji. Yeah, Faraji. Miss
Nushin Faraji. No
Faraji.
Fajima anywhere. See.
Not Fajima. Faraji. Her and Joy Taylor became friends when Joy Taylor basically got into the show.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, Joy befriends her and invites her out for cocktails one night. And then who was there? None other than Charlie Dixon,
Yep.
the vice president of content for FS1.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Faraji could completely understand that these two had, a little thing going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then as she starts to go through the lawsuit, it was described that Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp were about to have a show, which was undisputed.
Yep.
And that they wanted Joy Taylor to be number one or the moderator for the show. And Skip Bayless claimed he wanted nothing to do with her. But Charlie Dixon said it would be a huge favor to him to do it because she was stroking the Pashad.
Allegedly. Right.
Okay.
But allegedly.
Also, Miss Faraji did bring this up and confront Joy Taylor. The fact that this is a workplace and you probably shouldn't be doing that. And Joy told her to, and quote, mind her own business and get over it.
Yeah.
I have a plan if it ever comes back to me and say he forced himself upon me. Man, if this is all true, like it is completely diabolical. That fucking movie Bombshell's real. Like
this isn't surprising. I'm not surprised. Oh, you're telling me that a sports TV, like a little bit, yeah, to the level that it's on. But like you're telling me that people in power in a really man-dominated thing where mostly pretty girls get those spots aren't like, hey, do this and I'll give you a step ahead. Like this isn't the first nor last time this is a thing.
What's really funny about this, so if you've ever watched a College Football Saturday on Fox, there's a little lady by the name of Jenny Taft. And Jenny Taft is this really cute little blonde girl who's been on FS1 forever. And she was the moderator on Undisputed for a while.
Yeah.
After Joy went to the herd. And Jenny Taft posted a TikTok once and she goes, why don't I get in any of the stock photos, basically?
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. And I could imagine for Jenny Taft, who's actually worked her way, she's a married lady.
Yeah.
Respect. Wisconsin gal.
Fact.
It's like, okay.
Now you know why, Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny, you want to know why she went from zero to hero.
Yep.
She's stroking the Pashad. And then there's allegations that Sam Acho and Joy Taylor were banging.
Emmanuel. Specifically
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah.
My bad. Sam Acho was the good Acho. Emmanuel Acho.
Guess so. Yeah.
Sam Acho actually played for the Bears, by the way.
Yes, he did.
That's why I remember that. Now, if you look at this and you kind of go back, Emmanuel Acho was talking up Joy Taylor on FS1. Like all these clips of surface of Emmanuel Acho being like the most beautiful, talented.
Oh, that was on his Instagram, and he proceeded to delete that video. Like it got pulled up, and then he deleted it. Like no one had it recorded, dude. Obviously, that was gonna get posted more after you delete it. That's like literally admitting fucking evidence. It's so crazy.
Well, also there's a picture for her birthday or his birthday. She posts some selfie. She has a glass of wine and he's sitting on her couch with a blankie over his legs and no socks on. I'm sorry. That boy is comfortable. He is comfortable.
Was he married though? She wasn't married. You're kind of allowed to do that, but
I mean, listen, two consensual adults. I get it. It's more the fact that she was snooping around with the VP of operations or content for Fox Sports 1. He was a married man and she was a married woman at the time to a former NBA player.
Yeah.
And then financial manager. And then allegedly Joy Taylor and her ex went out to dinner with Charlie Dixon and his wife. And the jig was up at that point in time at dinner that these two had a little situation going on.
Yeah. The one thing, Charlie Dixon too, Basic white man look. All-time basic white man look.
He's a goofy looking motherfucker. You got a picture of him, Vince? Bring it up.
Again,
he looks
alleged,
like the guy like
he
looks like the guy like the dorky kid named Francis at your school's dad looked like.
Yeah.
And Francis's dad, Charlie, was like the local State Farm rep.
Also, shout out to the guy in the Australian Football League that's also named Charlie Dixon that announced his retirement recently. Bad timing.
Cool. Yeah, bad timing. Bad timing to be Charlie Dixon.
Yeah, let's no one gets scared of the screen when this pops up.
Yo.
Oh, it's too big. It's too big.
He is so goofy looking.
He is. That's just a
like
ironclad. Yeah, like
I just look at that and like,
yeah.
I mean, how could Joy Taylor, who, by the way, attractive young lady,
power, money, and she has done this. She's not, dude. She said this on like multiple podcasts too. She's talking about pretty funny dudes. Like she's at the financial means now where she can have like a pretty funny guy that's not rich if he's hot enough, and also the inverse. Like if a guy has a lot of money, she doesn't care. Like, yeah, she's obviously like doing it for power. That's what that is. Also in this lawsuit too, Faraji alleges Dixon rubbed her body and grabbed her buttocks while attending a party for Joy Taylor in West Hollywood in 2017. She said she was mortified. Taylor told her to get over it. An anonymous employee told her that she wouldn't be working at Fox Sports anymore after she refused to have sex with him. And the anonymous person also said Dixon was doing this other woman talent, according to the suit. Doing this to other women talent. So if she didn't do it, she's ruining it for other women. She should sue them. This is fucking wild. It was literally just a bang fest. It's nasty, allegedly.
Well, allegedly a bang fest. And then I go back in the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
To other, because I mean, listen, per capita, more so than ESPN, FS1 trends with attractive women. Like they have attractive women on their broadcast.
Yeah. Sure.
Right? Joy Taylor being one of them. Before her, there was a little girl by the name of Kristen Leahy.
No, a fully grown woman.
Well, there was a little, my bad.
She was a
little name. Now they're all beautiful angels. So there's this gal by the name of Kristen Leahy who was like the moderator on The Herd.
Yep.
Blonde hair, blue eyed, very pretty gal.
Yep.
And then like, it was like a week and she was gone.
Yep.
And then she had her own show for maybe like a cup of coffee on FS1 where she had one-on-one interviews. And then basically you never heard from her ever again.
Yeah. What happened to her?
I think she was let go because she didn't want to get Charlie Dixoned.
Probably. Nasty work. Glad this is coming out in the press. Not great for Joy Taylor, but also, play the game. And that's the thing too, is like, if it ever gets out, I'm going to tell him. And then this lady's like, oh, are you? I'm going to tell him that was your plan. You gross, nasty lady. So I like that happened. Cause also like, fuck you, dude. Like making it like a joke, like sexual assault shit. Like you say it all the time. It's like, what are we doing here? Like if you're just going to say that and use it as your scapegoat, that's nasty. Like if you're doing the nasty shit, like just be nasty about it.
What's crazy though, is that meaning Joy Taylor, is all about this women empowerment movement.
That's what sucks too.
And like making women
if you put your mind to it,
and
you
like
can
all
do
this
anything.
Stuff, but she's out here just throwing ass for a promotion. Like that's the correct way to show that you're a woman leader and empowerment leader of the. Just stop it,
dude. If you put your mind to it, anything is possible. That's what she lives by.
Or if you stroke the right
throw some
facade,
ass.
you can go to the top.
Be hot.
Yeah.
And allegedly you can do well. That's the Joy Taylor experience. Should we talk about sports?
Hold on.
All right, you got more.
But wait.
You're like hurt by this, I feel like.
I'm not hurt by this.
Okay.
Just Colin Cowherd on live TV
Oh yeah.
meaning to
All the
say
videos
two
coming up.
titties and saying two titties is the
Yeah.
funniest thing ever.
I know. He's
I
like, two
encourage
titties. I mean, cities. It's like, heard
Two-
you there, Colin.
two titties, and Joy Taylor's like, yo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, 'cause she's like, you can't even say that to me. I didn't even do that to you. Stand up, hat forwards type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a hat forwards type of guy, Colin Cowherd. He would never
He
do
is.
that.
Now, Marcellus Wiley used to be a personality
Yeah.
on FS1, and basically he encouraged everybody to go back and watch the interview between Brandon Marshall, Joy Taylor, and Shady McCoy.
Okay.
Because she's talking about like how I had to grind to get my way to the top, and like all this shit. And I don't know about other people, now I'm in a position where I can, call shots, but in the past I had to grind and work and this and that. And they're just like,
yeah, they're looking at her like,
their faces are like, no, you didn't.
I know what you've done at night, Joy. I know what you've done.
We know what you did, Joy.
Anybody that has worked there, does work there, is all under investigation by the mass media right now, by the internet at large.
All of the allegations, the one I really don't find to be real is the Skip Bayless thing. I don't know if I believe it.
But that was like a direct from him to her. If you're going to believe any
$1.5 million?
That's a lot of money. You got to think like that's a lot of money.
Like if she was like supermodel attractive, maybe.
But you don't know.
Like,
you don't know if
I saw the pictures.
You know what she looks like?
Yeah, like you could Google her name.
Oh, I didn't even know you could see her.
She works for ESPN now.
Oh,
so it's like it's all real things. I just don't think. I don't know.
Oh yeah, $1.5 million, really?
Yeah, right.
Just $1.5 million for anything. It's like that's a lot of fucking money for that.
That's a whole lot of money for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, all this could be wrong. Some of it could be wrong. Some of it could be right. I don't know. It has been blowing up the internet.
I'm just so interested to see like what happens and what more comes out in the woodwork because of it, and if people are going to lose their jobs or
it's going to be a mess.
You think so? What's your prediction? Where does it go next, Vince?
Well, I don't 14 counts from multiple people at different spots, like behind the camera, in front of the camera. Like if any of this / all of this is true, like they have to clean house and restart. And you think anybody's going to want to work there and be like, oh, this is the place where everybody's just banging? Like, why would you want to work there as a reporter? There's no credibility in that. So like
to think that like Colin Cowherd's the only one that is like clean in all this is great.
That makes a lot of sense to me though. He says the dumbest shit ever all of the time. But he never comes across to me as like a guy that's like a skis ball nasty man. He seems like the worst thing that ever happened to him is having a beautiful daughter. That's like the worst thing that happened to him.
And she did date Trey Lance, and then once she realized he's not a starter, Daddy.
Yeah.
And he's like, gotta get a new guy.
No, I don't think he said that.
Gotta get a guy like Baker Mayfield.
He seems like a pretty normal guy with brutal takes. That's my takeaway from Colin Cowherd.
I love how when he went to describe that he could tackle Baker Mayfield, and then Baker Mayfield went on the show. He's like, when's the last time you played football?
Yeah. It's like, you can't tackle me. Also, just trade the draft picks before the MLB allowed him to trade draft picks. That was an all-timer.
Do you think he was the ultimate, he was the ultimate camel's back breaker for the MLB to be like, all right, allow him to trade draft picks now?
No.
I'd get a couple picks, and then
you think they were like, oh wait, we could actually trade draft picks. I knew that was possible.
Wait a minute. He's got a point.
Thanks, Colin.
Make that a rule. Thanks, Colin. Although, out of all this, Jason Whitlock saying he had a chance with Joy Taylor.
With his beautiful peanut butter skinned queen.
She said his peanut butter skin.
What a freak, dude. He's such a weirdo, dude.
If you've been watching this podcast long enough, does anybody remember the Jason Whitlock search bar, Strange and Unusual? Where he was looking for gay men in his area.
Yeah.
He's I can't believe this is the world would come to. It's like, dude, do you know what like Google ads and trends are? Question mark.
Yeah, it was it was a Google advertisement at the top of his computer when he pulled something up, and it said balls deep inside of me is a great way to spend your birthday. That's what it was.
Yes. The same guy who that happened to went on live TV and basically said, I had a chance with Joy Taylor. It's like, I don't think you swing that way, big
Well, he
dog.
was just like, but I decided he's also a big dumb idiot and kind of always has been.
Yeah, that's
It's like that's
true.
something you got to take it with a grain of salt because everything he says is like, I had a chance. It's like you probably didn't. You were probably just sitting at your house like eating a fucking Big Mac, and it's just like, I could Mac on that shit if I wanted to, but I'm a big strong man. It's like I'm gonna go on TV tomorrow and be like, I think the quarterback position's for white men. Like that's all he's just gonna. That's like literally all he's gonna do. Jason Whitlock's the stupidest dude in sports media. It's brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
did
nice.
he play football? He played football, right?
I think he played professional football, and then
Yeah.
now he's into politics or some shit.
Yeah, he does like weird. He does like the. Not like the Clay Travis, kind of the Clay Travis thing, but like he does like the right wing politics sports guy, like look
Who
at me,
was the
I
guy?
dare to be different kind of shit.
He spotted on First Take for a while, and he was like super Republican.
Kane.
boy. Yes.
What's his
he
What's
was
his first name?
very Caucasian. It's like Caleb.
Something Kane. He does politics now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was on
Will
ESPN.
Kane.
Will Kane.
Yeah.
His takes were horrible. It's like
Yeah.
it goes to show you that all these people in media can go spew garbage.
Well, that's
no matter the topic.
They wanted Coward to go do politics too. And he was like, I'd rather talk about sports. Like it's
you
the same
blame
shit.
him?
It's like, can you just be pretty on TV? Yeah, he's on Fox and Friends now, which I don't care what you believe in. Like watching those shows literally melt your brain to death.
Oh, it does. It's
No
just
matter
like,
what
wow.
you believe in.
It's like
That shit is
watching
so stupid.
the male version of The View.
Yeah.
It's just quack.
I don't want to hear what
quack.
Will Kane has to say. I don't want to hear what Whoopi Goldberg has to say. I just leave me out of it.
Correct. I agree. Well, it was nice, Vince, to have a strange and unusual. Actually, that's
You know what I
that's
want to talk about though,
strange.
Mike?
What?
Football.
Let's get back to football. Let's get back
talk
to
about
talking about what we love to
football,
talk about
dude.
most.
Yeah, this is a sports podcast, not a Joy
Vince.
Taylor. What are you gonna do? Podcast.
I mean, hey, Vince, you might have a shot, brother.
Well, I don't know about all that.
Well, I'm just saying.
No,
get on
I don't
your
know if I
Tony
want a
Soprano.
shot. Leave me out of it.
Well, yes, you do.
No.
Get the fuck out of here. You're a liar. Yes, you do.
Nasty.
You don't. You'd say no.
Gross.
You'd say no.
I'd think about it.
You're full of shit.
I'd be like,
okay.
what do you want? What do you want from this?
What do you want from me? All right. Well, in case you're living under a rock, we reacted after the Notre Dame game last week.
Yeah, that was cool. That was
Vince
fun.
was a very happy little guy. He was worried there for a minute, but nothing to be concerned about.
I was
Looking
worried
back
till the
on that
clocks
game-
hit 3 zeros, bud. I was worried the whole time.
Looking back on that game, Georgia just doesn't. They don't have the team in order to run with a Notre Dame right now. And I can't believe this sentence is coming out of my mouth, but they are no longer the team that you're worried about.
Yeah, which it took you until last week to admit that.
Well, I think I got the stuck in the headlights a little bit.
For sure.
Kind of like a proverbial football deer.
Yeah.
And you see that red G on a helmet and you kind of get like, all right, well, I got a shot.
Literally and figuratively.
Dogs.
Yes.
Literally dogs. And I don't think it was Gunner's problem that he lost that game.
Yeah.
He got stacked up against a defense that's very, very good.
Yeah.
And a team that led the league, all of college football to be exact, in drop passes. And that showed in that game.
For sure.
And all in all, Notre Dame just, I personally think Marcus Freeman outcoached Kirby Smart.
He did. Dude,
in itself, that's impressive.
The fake punt or like we're going to punt it, just kidding, we're not. And then they jump off sides and then they essentially ice the game. Like shit like that. People have been talking about it all week ad nauseum. Pat McAfee did a whole segment this week. It was just like, Notre Dame's really good. And every week for the last 5 weeks, he's picked against them. and they keep winning. And he's like, Notre Dame's actually really good. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. You just figure that one out. Like this is what I'm kind of afraid too. It's like the national media is finally like, they're pretty good. I'm like, no. Keep picking against us. Keep doing it. Like, it's good. It's worked out so far, you know?
Keep making them the underdog. It was a goofy game to watch because
It
like,
was
it was in
weird.
the middle of the afternoon and like you're trying to pay attention, but you really
Postponed
can't.
3, what was it? 3, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
It's just like, okay, kind of take it or leave it. So in my eyes, it was a good game for the first half, and the second half, just Notre Dame pulled away with it. After that fake punt,
Well, it was the
Kirby
end of the
Smart's-
second. It was the end of the second quarter, and it was the beginning of the third. They went up by 2 touchdowns at the end and the beginning of the third in like 13 seconds game time. And you're like, oh, this went from like a one score game to a 3-score game so fast.
Correct. And that's why I looked at it like, man, that kickoff return for a touchdown really
Big.
was the saving grace. And that was a huge momentum builder for Notre Dame and really just separated them in the game itself.
To be fair, to be honest, it doesn't make me feel great for this week, though.
Why?
Like, Riley Leonard did some dog shit. That was cool. Like, some of the guys we needed to do stuff did some stuff, but it was a lot of, like, gadget weirdness that worked out. Like, I believe that the Penn State game is going to be a trenches game. And you got to be able to do it from both sides of the ball.
Well, you're going up defensively against a very good quarterback.
And a very good defense that has good receivers and the best tight end in the country.
Potentially maybe the best tight end in the country.
He is.
He's a
Who's
freak.
better than Tyler Warren? I don't know.
Yeah, right now, I don't know many people better than Tyler Warren. Drew Aller is
He's
potentially, just maybe, the first pick overall next year.
If he doesn't go out this year, we'll see.
No, he's not. He's Drew
he
Aller.
Said he wasn't going to. But
he said he's coming back for his senior year.
He said he might come. He might leave, or supposedly he might leave if he's a top 3 pick.
That's posturing in order to get more money in NIL. Because Quinn Ewers is doing the same thing. I don't know if you've seen those.
I saw that he might transfer to Notre Dame.
Quinn Ewers?
Yeah.
I also heard that he might transfer to Oregon. The price tag on some of these guys, Vince.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
2?
3 million.
Yeah. I believe
Some schools are willing to give up to $3 million.
I believe it.
For the best QB prospect, which is insane.
Imagine
to me.
Notre Dame with a really good quarterback.
Yeah. Who can
what
sling
the fuck?
it.
That team's insane.
But the problem is you need an offense that caters to that. And I don't know if Notre Dame has that right now.
Jordan Faison's a sprinter. Jeremiah Love's a sprinter. Get guys down there. You got Jaden Greathouse. He's a fucking beast. Like, you just don't have a quarterback. I mean, Riley Leonard's thrown very well. I'm not gonna lie. I hate him. I love him. But
he's been better throwing the football over the past 6 weeks.
He's not a slinger. He's Josh Allen with no arm. I've been saying it every week.
Yes,
I'm cool
that's
with
a great comp.
I'm cool with it. I like it. I'm like, this guy rocks. But like, also, he's not gonna. What did he get? 98 yards in that win the other day. You need your quarterback throwing for more than 98 yards.
Well, it's very true to have a quarterback at Notre Dame, or maybe Drew Aller looks to transfer. I think Arch will be the guy at Texas. I think he's waited long enough for his time.
And if he's not, then he's transferring.
Another team that you could look at for the transfer portal is going to be another team that got bounced potentially a little too early in Oregon. So moving forward, it will be interesting to track how that all works out.
Yeah.
Now, the game of all games, Vince, I will tell you. I mean, North Texas, Texas State. What? I'm kidding.
I was like, all right.
By the way, Texas State won 30-28. In case you were not watching.
Actually, a good game, but who cares?
You know what's great? Lane Kiffin during the Gator Bowl.
Oh, I love it.
Basically, they were like, well, looks to be your last game with Jackson Dart. He's really had a game. What are your thoughts? He's like, oh, he's doing great. He's like, maybe he can petition and get another 3 years. He goes, it seems like everybody's doing it now. Mine as well. And I'm like, I love that guy.
Lane Kiffin's getting dragged around though. Well, I'm enjoying a lot. I am reveling in the anti-SEC shit going on right now because a lot of people are going back on posts, and it was just like, especially about my team, obviously, but it was like Notre Dame's not going to be able to do it once they face an SEC team. And there's like a bunch of old guys in the comments just like, yeah, the SEC is like the strongest conference, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, they've been undefeated since you put this in there. He's like, yeah, but they haven't played anybody worth a shit. And then they were like, okay, well, they beat Indiana and they were fake. And it's like, all right, well, they beat Georgia, but Georgia didn't have Carson Beck. And you're like, you guys are not going to give it up. You can't do it.
Hello, McFly.
Yeah.
You admitted to it on the podcast like week 5 that
What?
most likely would happen.
No, I know.
Notre Dame would get to the playoff and lose to an SEC team. So you were in agreement of it too at some point.
I do too, but I would changed my mind.
Well, yeah, and I'm not saying you're not allowed to change your mind, but I'm just saying,
their minds.
don't be like these old guys losing their fucking minds.
Okay, listen comprehension. You ready for this? They said that, and then someone's like, what about this? And he's like, well, these are playing this, so that's why that happened. It's like, well, they played Georgia, but Georgia didn't have Carson Beck, and that's why that happened. You're like, buddy, they're better than you thought.
Yeah.
You got to get over it. Like, what are we doing?
I agree with the thought process of like, it wouldn't have mattered if Carson Beck was starting. It would not have mattered.
Yeah. And maybe it would have been a little bit closer, but to say that they had no chance and then they beat them, like, hey. And also, Texas is an SEC team, but for what, 9 months? They're not even an SEC team. They've only been for 9 months.
Historically, a Big 12 team started playing SEC teams about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's tracked a little differently for them.
But like officially, I'm saying, like they've only been the SEC for not even a year yet.
Correct. I do believe that there is some merit that now, to Norman Nate's guys many moons ago said on this podcast, you're going to get the super conferences soon. And
equal playing field now.
You're going to start seeing that where these mega conferences like the SEC and Big Ten, it's already kind of there as it is because there's no ACC team in this playoff. There's one independent and the rest are Big Ten.
Depends on payouts too.
And SEC.
I did see this too. So like when you win a specific game, you end up getting funding. The Big Ten got a cut that you share with all of the people in the Big Ten. That was $14 million. They got 2 of those. SEC got $14 million. That's profit shared across the whole conference. And Notre Dame got $14 million to just use at their fucking disposal because they're not in a conference. This is always... Yeah.
Do they get more money if they win the national championship? Do
they will get the same amount of money that everybody else gets. Yeah, you get paid as a program if you get it, but it's all shared within the conference that you're in, unless you're not in a conference, which has always been my argument with this is like Notre Dame's eventually going to join one. It's like, why? You make your own schedule and you get paid and you don't have to pay anybody else. Like, why would you do it?
Well, to your point, Vince, I mean, if you look at it, if I'm Notre Dame, I would go to Marcus Freeman and be like, listen,
yeah,
you get these kids over the hump and bring us a natty. We'll give you $5 million of that.
Yeah, take the university. You're the dean now.
listen, coaching staff. You go win a natty. We'll give you a big cut of whatever the fuck this is going to be.
Easy.
And then we'll put the rest towards, facilities and the rest of it.
Yeah. And now it was funny too. I did see so Marcus Freeman went to Ohio State and played football. He
also played for the Bears for a cup of coffee.
Well, practice squad, right? Something like that. And then he had heart
practice squad,
something like that.
Bills, Bears, and I think the Panthers.
Yeah, I think he had a irregular heartbeat, so he didn't end up being able to play. So he ended up coaching. But he was on Jim Tressel's podcast, and then I've been comment baiting so hard. I've been rage baiting everywhere I go this last week. And everybody under there is minute days gone. He's coming to Ohio State. I'm like, why would he? Why would he go to Ohio State?
If he's Ryan Day?
No, Marcus Freeman. If once Ryan Day's gone, Freeman's going to go to Ohio State. Why would he go? Just be the head coach of Notre Dame forever, dude. How is it even how is it better? I don't really know how.
I think that's just people trying to manipulate a situation. Be like, oh, I'm an
Yeah.
Ohio State fan. Why wouldn't you want to coach for Ohio State? Because you're the
Because
king of Notre Dame.
and yeah.
You are
And
the
also,
king of
like
Our Lady.
and also, like, you get to play a bunch of shitty teams and USC, not including them in shitty teams, but you get to play a bunch of shitty teams throughout the year. Ish, whatever. And then you don't have to play Michigan every year. And people aren't going to yell at you about playing Michigan every year. Just beat the bad teams or go to a Final Four. That's
You know
all
who
you
you
do.
have to beat every year? You have to beat USC.
Yeah.
And you have to beat whatever Big Ten opponent you play.
Right. And like
And
Army
Florida
and Navy.
State. Yeah, and Army
Yeah.
Navy. Well,
Yeah.
Florida State and Miami, I feel like those should be like locks on every Notre Dame schedule.
I
Like
agree.
Florida State and Miami are kind of like the Florida teams and the Catholics notably don't like each other. And
Catholics versus convicts is such a matchup. Well,
It
we're
is
kind of
such a
getting we're
matchup.
getting that this week.
not really.
Yeah.
How?
Penn State.
What about them?
You don't remember like a pretty fucked up situation that happened
Oh,
at Penn State
yeah.
before?
Oh yeah. Oh
Remember
yeah.
when Jerry
Well,
Sandusky had a kids charity, Mike? Remember that whole
remember
thing?
when
that he
Jerry
did?
Sandusky at a press conference when they asked him, "Do you enjoy?"
He's like, "Are you
showering with
attracted
young-"
to kids?" Yeah,
Yes, he said, "Are you attracted to young kids?" And he was like,
Not
I'm sorry, if you
necessarily."
have to or even think about that sentence,
said-
you're crazy."
He said like not necessarily or something weird like that. So Catholics versus convicts. Some people would argue it's convicts versus convicts or whatever, because the Catholic Church.
Well,
or
I was
whatever,
about to say the Catholic religion aren't fucking saints. I mean, there
right,
are
but if
saints
you're
in them,
going,
but I'm
if
just
you're
saying.
going a religion versus a specific man that was on the coaching staff that is in jail for
Hey.
said thing,
Go watch the movie Spotlight, okay?
hearsay,
Just
baby.
saying.
Hearsay,
Just saying.
baby.
There's no hearsay.
Hearsay. I know. I'm not demeaning any of the crimes of the Catholic Church. We're the Fighting Irish. We're Irish over Catholic all day. As far as the game's concerned, like you said, the teams are pretty comparable everywhere except better quarterback, and they have a tight end. So, like, right now, I think technically on the book,
and they also have two running backs that are pretty fucking good at what they do.
Penn State?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so does Notre Dame.
I understand. I'm not saying. I'm just saying from a matchup perspective.
That's
On
what I'm saying.
offense-
They're the same. They're the same everywhere except for those two premium positions. Like Notre
Yeah.
Dame's got two running backs, maybe three that could be starting in a lot of teams. But Notre Dame doesn't. Notre Dame has the 10th best tight end, and they can't throw the ball the way that Penn State can. So like
Which is kind of unusual because Notre Dame is a tight end factory.
usually, but every now and then they come in and out. And like our tight end's pretty good, but he's not like he'll get drafted probably like second or third round this year. That's probably where he's
For
gonna get
Notre
slotted.
Dame, that's an atrocity.
It is, yeah. No more Cole Kmet now, but yeah, it should be fun. I'm hoping you're listening to this Thursday morning, and not after, because depending on what happens, I'm going to sound like an idiot. But hopefully it goes well. What is your pick, Mike? Who are you taking?
Vince, it's difficult for me to pick against anybody else. I'm rolling with our roots of growing up Catholic, Irish, Italian boys, and I'm picking Notre Dame. I'm rolling with you.
So am I. This is going to be a close game.
I think this is a close game. I don't think it's 23-10.
No.
I think Notre Dame offensively really has to put together a game plan because Penn State's defense is legit. And they got some really good defensive talent right now. A day one guy, top 10 guy, potentially. I forget his name.
What, the corner?
No, he is a defensive end. Off the top of my head, I don't have it.
Abdul Carter.
Let me go back. Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like Micah Parsons 2.0.
Yeah.
So
he is
you
big
got some
and scary.
guys. He's scary and fast. And if he gets to Riley Leonard, which he may have a couple opportunities to shake up his cage, I wouldn't necessarily think this game is a lock-in. I do believe Notre Dame.
Our line's been good this year, for what it's worth. But we're young, and Abdul Carter's fast and definitely the best player that we've seen this year. What makes me feel a little bit better is the way they protected Riley Leonard against Georgia and that fearsome front line that they got. This is a different game. This is a different situation.
There's going to be more scoring. The offensive
Yeah.
threat is far greater in this game than it has been for most of any team.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to have to show up on both sides of the football, primarily really try and lock up Drew Aller throwing the football.
Yeah.
He can throw a very pretty football. That's been proven week over week.
The one
And
thing he does
has some
do
weaponry.
every now and then is he gives up takeaways, and Notre Dame has takeaways. Key to the game, my X factor key to the game, get an interception or make someone fumble. Like, hit hard like you guys do. You know, go to church and pray before you get there, and then wreak hell, baby. That's what I'm looking for. Thursday mass and then wreak hell, dude.
Thursday night mass, get it together, ready to rock that morning. And here we go, a 5:30 start or 7:30 start if you're Central, or 8:30 start if you're East Coast. Now, we got the Cotton Bowl on Friday night. Ohio State, Texas. Another
Weird
neutral
game.
site game. So the Orange Bowl is going to be played in Miami, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it always is, right?
So it's an outside game. What's the weather look like for this game, Vince? That's the real question.
Let's see.
What's the weather in Miami looking like?
I would love if it's rainy and fucked up. That would be cool. Let's see. Let's see. Dude, I hate Sun Sentinel. I don't want to dude, I hate this. I need to figure out a way to get away from like the
Just look up weather.
I am
What are
right
you
now.
doing?
I was trying to see what the line was at the same time. Trying to see what the line was at the same time.
I'm trying to do too many
We're
things.
looking at 60 degrees scattered clouds. Wind speed 14 miles per hour, kind of a fast wind. Pretty basic, pretty okay.
Yeah, Miami right now, 67 degrees tomorrow. And yeah, I mean,
both
nice
teams are listening.
Cool night.
They both play in similar climates. Like, there's no literal advantage based on who each team is. It's just good that it's not raining for Penn State like that. So I don't know. We'll see. It's a toss up in my head. It seems like everybody kind of agrees with that. I think Notre Dame is the favorite right now, which is weird.
Well, let's go take a peek ski, shall we? Let's look on FanDuel.
At least they were yesterday when I looked. It was
right now. Penn State is an underdog.
Yep.
1-1 underdog. So if you bet 10, you'll win 10. That is interesting. The over-under is 45.5.
Why are they underdogs?
Penn?
Yeah.
People are high on Notre Dame. Why do we both pick Notre Dame, Vince? Because
I love them.
Looks to be the Sharps. The Sharps are also on Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Now, when we transfer over this Ohio State game on Friday night, which will be played in the great state of Georgia, we look at this and go, okay, well, what are we doing? Ohio State ranked number 6, coming off a game where they absolutely put the hurting on an Oregon team that was clearly rated number 1 all year and played them.
What happened? Everybody, so brutal.
They did not show up, and Dylan Gabriel is not as good as people make him out to be.
Yeah, I know you were kind of jacking it to that.
I wasn't
like, he sucks. I told you.
Joy Taylor, pause. I'm gonna say that I just called it all year. And it's one of those things where Mike is right, where Mike is wrong.
He had a good year.
Not always right.
When the rubber hit the road.
Not him. He's not him.
Yeah.
Just like how when
the rubber hit the road, it didn't work out.
I don't think Texas wins this game. So I'm going to take Ohio State.
I think you're right. Quinn Ewers is hard to trust right now. He's good. They're going to throw the ball probably a lot. Also, the public consensus is that Will Howard is like the man. And like, okay, last week he did.
I don't know if he's the man.
This is what I'm saying.
I don't know if Will Howard.
Like, Quinn Ewers is hard to trust, but Will Howard is easy to trust. That seems to be what the public is talking about. And I'm like, Will Howard has had some suspect ass games. And like, even the game they played against Penn State, he wasn't the reason they won that game. Wasn't good against Michigan.
If you've had suspect games, that's fine. You can have had them. Now you need to be the guy.
Right.
And
So that's why I'm saying that, like, he's as capable of having a bad game if he has one. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not like a Quinn Ewers is scary, but Will Howard's good. They go to Jeremiah Smith a lot. Keep going to Jeremiah Smith, good things happen. I think that's the game plan going into this. They have an amazing wide receiver room. Keep feeding that team. But yeah, Texas is good. Texas almost lost to Arizona State. Texas is really good at giving away the game.
Texas wanted, like, they came out hot in the first half, and they're a big first half team, and then they really can't finish. So they've gone into a couple games this year, winning in the first half, Georgia being 2 of those games, and then lost. So I believe Texas is going to come to play. It's just, can they finish? And I don't know if against Ohio State, I think Ohio State, they're moving and shaking
most
right
of their
now.
wins,
they're
though.
dialed.
Most of their wins, though, is like taking it away in the first half and not having to do shit in the second half.
I think we have a full-blown Midwest college football championship.
Do you count Happy Valley as Midwest?
I count Notre Dame and Indiana as Midwest, and Ohio as the Midwest.
You can almost count Happy Valley too.
I mean, Pennsylvania is more Northeast. It's on the fringe.
Part of it, though, it goes like it's
Ohio.
Long.
Ohio's a goofy fucking state too, by the way.
Yeah.
Because, like, at some point, if you're driving from Indiana to Ohio, it's like you're in and out of Ohio twice. Time zones change. It's odd. Fucking weird, man.
It's an odd scenario.
It's an odd thing, especially so I once went from Michigan to Indiana to Ohio. And Michigan to Indiana. And I was going to Fishers, Indiana from Novi, Michigan.
Okay.
And basically, Novi is like a really nice suburb of Detroit. It would remind you of like Naperville of Detroit. It's like that. So it's like 35 minutes outside of Detroit. Beautiful suburb. Would highly recommend living if I could. But I drove from Novi to Fishers, Indiana. And at one point I went through Ohio. I'm like, where the fuck am I? And like I went through 2 separate time zones and I was like,
what? That's weird, dude.
What day/time zone am I in? There's certain parts of Indiana that are 2 different time zones.
Yes.
There's certain part of the state of Michigan that are 2 different time zones. It's just fucking goofy.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's that. So Happy Valley, not Midwest. Yeah,
no,
you do have,
it's
you
Northeast.
do have to go. Yeah, you like hop into like the Toledo area, and then
it's fucking weird. Like your phone changes time zones twice, and you get back into Fishers, and you're like, it's nice here.
That's weird. Happy Valley, not Midwest. Very well could be best case scenario / worst case scenario is that it's Ohio State, Notre Dame, because I don't want to see that happen again on the biggest stage. So,
do you also know that there's like a whole area? Basically, the whole like city of Pittsburgh, they want to be considered as the Midwest.
Yeah.
They don't like to be considered Northeasterners. Yeah, it's kind of a thing. Yeah.
They're way, way, way closer to Cleveland than they are to Washington or Philly or New York or Boston.
Yeah.
They're closer to Cleveland than they are to Philadelphia, and it's the same state.
Yeah. The Northeast is just weird in general.
It's odd.
The most redeeming city in all of the Northeast, there's 2. Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Portland, Maine. Beautiful areas.
I heard Philly's nice.
I haven't been. I was in like a suburb of Pennsylvania and suburb of Philly, and I was like, okay, I can leave.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So I have my picks. Notre Dame, Ohio State. That's going to be the national championship. Give me a Midwest bowl.
I agree with you. I really don't want to play
parity.
Ohio State.
No parity?
No, I don't. I think that Ohio State's a better team. They're more skilled. They're a better team. They're better than Texas. I would rather Notre Dame play Texas. I don't think it's a shoe-in that Notre Dame wins this game either. Like, it's going to be a close game. Best case scenario for me is Notre Dame versus Texas. What I think is going to happen is Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Worst case scenario is Ohio State, Penn State. Ohio State wins. There's their answer.
potential Notre Dame quarterbacks in 2026 that you're going to watch this week?
We'll talk about that once Notre Dame's out.
Okay.
I got one guy I like. That's all.
Who do you like? Who do you like?
Riley Leonard. That's who I like, buddy.
Okay. Homer answer.
Dog.
All right, Vince. You have made it known on this podcast that you are a smidge of a London soccer chap.
Me thinks I like footy now. Me thinks I like footy.
Oh, father, my bangers and mash were cold.
Father, I believe I'm a hooligan now.
Father, I'd love to go to Las Vegas for the 21st.
Please, Father. No, quick. Because we talked about it last week. My team is Newcastle United. Newcastle United's on an epic run right now. Beating Arsenal, who's second in the standings right now in the Premier League. Wow. Beating Arsenal yesterday. Now we're in a situation where Newcastle has their last 5 undefeated. 10-5-5 on the season right now. We soldier on. This could be good for me. I might have 2 good teams at one time. It's never happened to me. Let a man live. That's all I have to say about that. Also, Liverpool is probably the best team still. So look out for that. Newcastle's coming up. That's the place to be. That's all I have to say about soccer.
That's all you got on soccer?
That's it. Unless you want me to say more.
No. Talk about your other sport that you love to talk about.
You're talking about basketball, baby? That's what's up.
Playing. Yeah, basketball.
You know, I like to do periodic. Let's talk about certain things that are going on. Anthony Edwards is pissed off about getting double teamed and triple teamed all the time.
Yeah.
Right now. Right. And
dang it.
I know, but also that makes sense because the Timberwolves fucked him.
I mean, yeah,
they fucked him.
They got rid of Karl Anthony Towns for who?
For Julius Randle.
That doesn't help him.
It didn't make any sense when they did it. When we talked about it initially, it didn't make any sense. And Karl Anthony Towns is playing at a level where he's going to be all NBA this year and in the MVP conversation.
For sure.
For sure he is. Zesty King going crazy. And Anthony Edwards is nobody to help him. And he's like a one-man fucking wrecking crew right now. He has Rudy Gobert and he has Julius Randle and he has a bunch of guys that just stand around and wait for Anthony Edwards to do something. I can't believe that they decimated a team like this. They were good last year.
Do you think there's a reuniting of Jimmy Butler in Minnesota?
So this was a thing that I didn't put down that I didn't want to talk about. Jimmy Butler.
See? Mike knows his stuff. Butler. I'm not like totally tone deaf.
Rumors, baby. Not even rumors. Literal ironclad things. Jimmy Butler wants out of South Beach.
Well, he's made that known for like a month.
It has been.
Not longer. Yeah.
But initially it wasn't him, though. Initially, it was like the Heat are seeking a trade for Jimmy Butler. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy Butler's like, fuck it, I want out of here. If you can't get a trade for me, like, send me out. Yeah, I would want to leave too if they're trying to trade him. Also, that team, like, hasn't really had any stars around him. Like, when they went to the finals, like, who was their second best player?
What team? The Heat?
Yeah. Remember when they went to the finals? Their second best player was...
When we sat there in Naperville?
Yeah.
It was the big guy. What's his name?
Which one?
Oh, man. Number 13. He's huge. He's their
Tristan
center
Thompson?
on Miami. No, on Miami.
No, I know. Adebayo. Yeah.
Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is arguably the second best player.
Who's an all-star. And then they had
the white kid?
They had Hero. Right.
Yeah.
They had Hero. They had Max Strus. They had Caleb Martin. All these guys are just bench players. Like, low-line dudes. He willed that team pretty goddamn far, to be honest. And Pat Riley never gave him anybody. And I kind of get it. And Jimmy Butler is a prima donna from the day is blue, like he always has been. Yeah, I would want to get out of Miami too. There's no reason to be there. Well, and also he's going to get like probably one more bag in his career and then it's done.
And I think that's the way he's looking at it. And he's got a big ass house in California he's got to pay for. So if you're Jimmy B, where do you want to go? That's the real question.
I heard this the other day. and I like it. San Antonio.
Pop,
Wembanyama.
Wemby.
Pop when he comes back, hopefully soon. Chris Paul. They got some guys.
I don't know if the personalities necessarily.
Well, that's the
jive,
thing. If that's double alpha, but also Chris Paul knows he's old. Chris Paul's not starting like the way he was starting before. Like, they don't have any dogs on that team. They kind of
You
need a
need a
guy to come
dog.
in there and start dogging, dude.
and
And they've, yeah, right, exactly. And they've also been like playing pretty well, but like to make a playoff run, send them to the West. Jimmy is the LeBron eater. Put him against LeBron. Take him out a little bit. Like,
I mean, do we really think the Lakers have a flaming chance in hell to make the finals? Stop it.
AD's playing his ass off this year. So yeah.
Okay, but they're still no.
Yes,
I'm
dude.
sorry, Vince. By the end of April, they're not even going to be in contention.
As in the playoffs?
The Thunder is going to take the West. Oh yeah, but
For sure.
my bad, because it's the NBA, and
you know how it goes.
19 fucking teams make the playoffs.
Yeah,
And then you
know
have
how it
this
goes.
goofy fucking tournament in the middle of the year that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, why
But
are ratings down? I
you can
wonder.
see him going home, Townball, Texas, outside of Houston. Houston playing their asses off this year. You can see him going to Memphis, playing with Jaren Jackson Jr. There's a couple things, probably the West Coast teams.
You want to know what would be the most Jerry Reinsdorf thing ever?
To bring him back.
We decided that we needed something for Zach LaVine, and we traded him to the Heat for Jimmy. Jimmy, welcome back.
Yeah.
We could have did this with you a decade ago, but decided no. And then Jimmy comes back and sells 1 million jerseys and sells out the UC for the rest of the year. And there you go. The year is made. The year is made for Jerry.
I'd rather have Jimmy Butler than Zach LaVine.
Well, yeah, but the problem is
I don't know if Pat Riley would rather have Zach LaVine.
I don't think Zach LaVine fits in Miami.
Oh, I think he does, but I don't think.
Well, I don't think he could get coached that way. Like, it's fascinating to me. I will most likely, my future offspring, be he a man or a woman, are going to push them to play the sport of basketball just in hopes that they become very, very good at it. Because to Cam Newton's point, the WNBA is probably going to be bigger than baseball by that point.
No, it won't. That was fucking so dumb. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen online.
So
Cam Newton
with that being said,
really good. He was very good at quarterback. He's stupid as shit on his podcast.
And he wears
so dumb.
jazzy hats. And
such an idiot.
And it's the one sport that you could get paid a lot of money to do a lot of nothing. So,
Mike,
I'm going to encourage
genetically, buddy.
Shut your mouth.
I don't know how well that's going to work out unless you're looking for like an awesome 6'1" point guard out of Arizona.
Hey, my
you're looking for a 6'1". You're looking for a 6'1" Zion Williamson. Then sure.
They say the height comes from the wife's side. So
true.
Her grandfather's 6 something, and then her brothers are monsters. They're like 6'5".
Fair enough.
So I might be onto something here.
Just hope he doesn't get sent to New Orleans, or he's going to be on that Zion diet fast.
And then he just might have the opportunity to become a offensive lineman.
Yeah, at that point, you're making a Taylor Lewan instead of a Tyler Hero.
Hey, either way, if you're only if the genetic pool is that prime, right?
Yeah. Make him a DH. Give him $700 million by the time that happens. We'll see what happens.
That's true. Well, that's all I got for basketball.
That's
so
basketball.
Final though, where does Jimmy end up in your mind? If you had to throw a dart right now.
Definitely somewhere.
No shit. Where's he gonna go, Vince?
I know, but also there's a chance that he stays.
Somewhere.
There's a chance that he stays. I'm saying he's definitely gonna get shipped. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sent to the San Antonio Spurs, like I'm saying, a la Steven Jackson going to the Spurs, a la Dennis Rodman going to the Spurs, and figuring out how to act as a team player because Greg Popovich is a guru. That's where my head's at.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I have my reservations. I think it's a Bulls thing to do, but
yeah, but yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't think the Heat are going to want that.
That's fair. That's
Jimmy's
fair. All right,
not going to be a lot of money in like a year. Zach LaVine's going to be a lot of money for like 5 more years. That's a problem.
Yeah, the Bulls gave him the max.
Dumb.
It's on them.
We had to, but dumb.
Very dumb. All right.
NFL.
Shall we talk about the NFL?
Let's go.
Time. Time. It's time. Got me feeling nice tea. All right.
Okay.
I started something. I didn't even know what I started over here.
Sorry about your ears, everybody. But not really.
Every now and it's like a once a year occurrence. We got to pull out the theme songs.
Gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it for the people. You gotta let them know, dude. Come on now.
That was Fox. I think that's Fox.
I don't talk about them anymore.
Films? Oh yeah, no more Fox.
Fox is dirty. Fox is sexual, dude.
Fox is, hey, that's gonna be like a new phrase. Like, hey, don't go Fox Sports 1 on her now.
Yeah, right. I want to know what else is dirty, Mike?
What?
The business side of the NFL, baby, because guys are getting next. It's like Game of Thrones. It's like Gimli in Lord of the Rings right now. I'm reading that book, by the way. It's like Gimli in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I'm reading the whole thing.
Is your plan for 2025 to become a virgin again, or like what are you doing?
I have been reading books lately. I've been reading books lately.
Wow.
I have always liked fantasy shit. You know this, dude. And I'm confident in my interest, dude. I like making music. I like singing. And I like reading fantasy novels if I'm not talking about sports, dude.
Everybody, Vince is decided for the year of 2025 that he is becoming a virgin again.
That's fine.
So,
hey, women like a well-read man, all right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You don't know what these younger ladies like, dude. And
you don't know, Mike.
In your old ripe age, dude, and you're fucking, what are you, like 39 or whatever?
I'm 33, Vince. Fuck you.
Over there with your fucking broken heart and all that shit. I'm all right.
Not broken. I have a pinched nerve.
All right, dude. I'm reading books to make my brain better, dude. So back off.
Listen, I've started listening to an audio book. I'm doing affirmations in the morning.
You can't read?
No, I can read.
Boom, dude. Roasted. Boom, dude. Hold on. Oh, thank you to the live studio audience for laughing at my joke.
Whatever.
Thanks.
Whatever.
Ayo. Got him. Burn. Sizzled.
Burn.
Sizzle tape.
Burn. At least don't read The Lord of the Rings, you nerd.
Sizzle taped. Aw, boo.
What?
There it is. Okay. I like Lord of the Rings. Anyway, people are getting fired. I learned a new word today.
What's a new word, Vince?
A new word I learned
what's
today.
What's your word of it? Did you find it in your fancy fucking book?
Because that's not new, okay? Tolkien wrote it in like the 50s or the 60s, okay? It was a long time ago.
That guy was definitely a virgin.
No, banged. Had kids. Offspring
really?
to show it. Yeah, children.
Wow.
Doug Peterson got fired, but they retained GM Trent Baalke.
Trent Baalke?
You'd think they would need an abstergent start, but nah.
What is okay? The English language is a very complex.
Let me say it one more time.
Field, right?
Doug Peterson got fired, but they retained Trent Baalke. Do you think they need a abstergent start? But nah.
Who put this out there in the world? Like
me.
What? Oh, you did?
This is my sentence. Yeah, you would think they would need an abstergent start.
Oh fuck, Vince! I didn't know this week was going to be a fucking
abstergent means clean. Abstergent means clean, fresh.
Oh,
but they said
this
no.
Is your word of the week. This is a new thing. Vince gets a word of the week now.
I bring stuff.
Absturgent.
Absturgent. It means clean. It means cleansed.
Oh, cleansed.
It's an adjective. So an absturgent
Okay.
start would be they
Okay.
need a fresh slate. They need a clean start. But for some reason, the Con said, no, we're only getting rid of Doug and we're keeping our GM because he's been good.
Do you also know that in a separate interview via Zoom today with a local reporter of the Jacksonville area, they asked Shad Khan if that a new head coach came to the table with a potential GM that he wanted to work with.
Yeah.
Would it be possible? Meanwhile, Trent Baalke's on the Zoom call with Shad
That's
Khan.
fine. Fuck him, dude. He doesn't deserve a job.
They're both on camera. Shad Khan goes, we are open to hearing whatever new candidate has. And if they are the right person, then yes, we would definitely entertain hiring a new general manager. Wow. The GM is on the fucking call.
That's business, baby. Good.
Like his
Smart.
face, he didn't know whether to shit or wind his watch. It was beautiful.
He
I'm like,
should be like,
bruh.
he's already on thin ice. I'm surprised they kept him.
Who,
You know-
Baalke?
Yeah. Did you know that Doug Peterson's the third most successful coach in Jaguars history?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's brutal.
I mean, if you do figure it out, though, I mean, they have been like only a franchise for about 30 years, right?
35 years, something like that. 90.
No, they didn't. That's not that long.
3.
I'm 33, motherfucker, and I was born in 91. So
Are you
what does that
closer to
tell you?
35 or are you closer to 30, Mike?
I'm in the middle.
That's not how that works.
Closer to 35.
Closer to 35. I know. Okay, I'm just saying. You're the one that brought up age.
Hey, I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that team was erected in 1991.
Hey, that's your word of the day. You know what I'm saying, Joy Taylor?
Hey,
so-
give me a sound.
So-
No sound. All right, I don't get a
oh,
sound.
wait. All right. Woohoo. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Glockenspiel. I had a thought.
Ooh.
Absturgent. I can't believe they didn't get
hippopotamic.
rid of him. I think they should have got rid of him. They're saying that this is maybe the second, third best spot to land in. Other places, Giants kept Dayball and kept Sean, however you say his name, the guy that notoriously on Hard Knocks was like, who needs
Shoney.
Saquon? Saquon, who needs him? He's not going to break a record this year. He's just almost
Who
gonna do it.
fucking needs him? He doesn't. He doesn't. Who needs
One of
that
the
guy?
more
I don't want
surprising
him.
ones, Raiders fire Antonio Pierce. Some people are saying Tom Brady had something
That's
to
not
do with
surprising.
it. More surprising than other guys. Most surprising, Gerard Mayo, one and done. Gone.
I just don't understand. He totally Lovey Smithed it on his way out. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna
Yeah.
fire me after this
Yeah.
game? Cool.
Fuck
I'm
your
gonna go
draft
fucking
pick."
win."
Fuck your draft pick, dude.
Yeah, like literally, like he did his post game press conference that night, and then it was like 4 hours later, he's out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Why'd you even let him coach the game?
I think
it's
it's
not like-
good.
And I mean,
Do it.
they Trubisky'd the game, so it's like you had to really try and lose it. But
Yeah,
hey,
but-
Joe Milton. Vince loves Joe Milton.
He's got a gun, dude. He's got a gun, dude. That's my
Maybe the-
Tennessee bias.
Maybe the best throw of the year, if it didn't get called back.
Yeah. Well, that's gunslinger shit right there, baby. That's how that goes.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel shoe in for the Patriots, probably.
Well, we'll
Feels
of course
like it.
talk about our Bears, but he did interview with the Bears today. He also was the first interview with the Jets. There are a lot of reports out there that it's his job if he decides he wants it. So I believe he does wind up in New England again, and it's
Me
like
too.
the perfect little story, and they're back, and now you have Rabes come in. I think Billy Boy O'Brien would gladly give up his spot at Boston College to come back and get his hands on Drake May.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see like the new era of Belichick coming into Foxborough, but I digress.
That's at least what they hope it is, for sure. That's what they hope it is.
And that just kind of leads us into our next conversation of the Bears coaching search.
Yeah.
Vince, would you prefer a Mike Vrabel or 14 other options?
I think they should give us a list of the people that they're not interviewing because it's easier. Um,
Dear God.
we're not getting Nagy. Jets might. We're not getting Nagy. That we know.
Oh, if he goes to the Jets, that'd be just fantastic.
He interviewed today, I think.
Oh, Nagy did?
Yeah, and the Jets had 2 different coaches with them watching practice at the same time that they were both interviewing, which is just weird. Don't know why they would do that, but that's the New York Jets for you. Mike McCarthy, the Bears are interviewing. If the Cowboys allow that.
The Cowboys recently denied.
Did they deny it or they just didn't answer it?
They did. They didn't answer it, and then I think next week he can go interview because his contract is up, unless they signed him to an extension.
That'd be some Jerry Jones shit to do. They did that with Garrett, so run it back with McCarthy if you want. That's fine. I don't want Mike McCarthy anywhere near the building. No, thank you. Leave him out of here.
So if you look at the Bears list, on this list, Mike Vrabel, who just interviewed today.
Yep.
You also have Pete Carroll.
Yep. Ugh.
They requested to interview Mike McCarthy.
Yep.
Ben Johnson.
Yep.
Every other fucking assistant coach.
Yeah, like all over the place. Like
literally the New York Giants offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
The Dolphins defensive coordinator.
I think Joe Brady's on that list.
Joe Brady's on that list. Like all these names, I'm like, okay, we couldn't break this down to like the top 5.
But they're going no stone unturned, I think, right now. They're like, we're gonna be like,
they're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna fuck it up. Has anybody ever heard of the phrase analysis paralysis?
That's what it is.
Analysis paralysis. They're going to analyze themselves and paralyze themselves at the same fucking time, and they're gonna fuck it up, and we're gonna get some goofy fucking offensive coordinator from New York.
We're not. We're not going to get an offensive coordinator.
Kafka's the guy.
Yeah, we're not going to get an offensive coordinator. What we're going to end up getting is Brian Flores.
No, don't. No.
That's what we're going to end up getting.
No.
We're going to end up getting another defensive guy. We're going to get
you
Brian
can't
Flores,
do that to Caleb.
Brian Flores and Ryan Poles played together, I believe.
No.
I think they did.
You can't do it that way. Okay.
You can't, but they will.
Let's back up the bus.
Okay.
Yesterday or Tuesday of this week, the Bears did their end-of-year press conferences.
Yeah.
Where Ryan Poles was asked, do you think it was fair for Caleb this year that he was put in such a tumultuous situation? And he looked at the reporter sideways and he goes, what kind of tumultuous situation are you speaking of? He goes, fired offensive coordinator, fired head coach. What wasn't about that?
What isn't tumultuous about
that? What isn't
Yeah.
tumultuous about that? And he was just like, oh, well, yeah. And then George McCaskey takes the podium.
Smart. Always good. Happy birthday, Virginia. I love you.
Happy birthday, Virginia. Still going to be,
Happy birthday, Virginia. Sup.
Vince is single, Virginia. Let him dust off those cobwebs. Let him Fox
What's
Sports.
What's up, Jenny? Can I call you Jenny? What's up, girl?
Let him Fox Sports one you.
Offer me 1.5, sweetheart. I'll change your world.
Give Vince and Chicago Mike the keys to the castle.
I don't know if I said. I don't know if I said I'm bringing you with me.
All right, fine.
You can't pimp. You're not my pimp, dude. You can't pimp me out, dude. I'll give you a
pimping
position.
You out.
Chill.
Hey, I've been saying on that podcast since the beginning, dog. Anyways.
I'm saying sup. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, I've been saying this should happen for a long time. Now, George McCaskey, when they asked him, how disappointed are you about the season and all this? Oh yeah. First, before he said anything, thanked Matt Eberflus, a coach they fired 8 weeks ago.
Attaboy.
And then proceeded to talk about he was more upset about anything this year than the fact that Chicago Bears season ticket holders sold their season tickets to Lions fans, which effectively made the Lions home game an away game because the Bears needed to go silent count at Soldier Field.
Make them better, George.
Now, the internet exists.
Idiot.
So, 670 the score, I believe Mully and Haw. One of them's close with the owner of Circa, which is from Detroit.
Yeah.
And he came on the 670 The Score to explain that George McCaskey sold him his suite for that game.
Bro.
And if not, if we couldn't be a bigger laughing stock, our owner is out here saying how disappointed he is in the fans, and he did the same fucking thing.
There's a saying. It's practice what you preach, Mike. We don't got a lot of that out here.
Now,
yeah,
I would love Vrabel. That's probably not going to happen.
We're not going to get him. Yeah.
I have a dark horse. You think Brian Flores is a lock?
Not a lock, but like knowing how the Bears function, that's how it's going to be. Who I want is Ben Johnson. I still do.
You want Ben Johnson?
I want him.
Okay.
I want him. I would love it. That's my best case
I
scenario.
want Vrabel.
Yep. You're not going to get him.
Because probably not going to get him.
Who's your stallion? Who's your dark horse?
Here's my dark horse
Who's your dark horse, Mike?
He's on the list. A one David Shaw.
Who?
Okay.
Allow me to be an owl and say who?
Former head coach at Stanford.
Okay.
Has been a GM assistant for the past 6-7 years in Denver.
Okay.
And has bounced around a couple of different times. And yeah, he's a Broncos exec.
Quarterbacks coach in Baltimore, San Diego, Stanford, Oakland Raiders, Eagles. Been around the block.
He's been kind of getting his ducks in a row.
Okay.
And he most notably coached Andrew Luck.
Yep.
And was coached under and took over for Harbaugh at Stanford. Hasn't coached in a long time. Has been in and around the NFL for a long time. I think it could be kind of a match made in heaven.
All right.
And with his GM experience, if he gets along with Poles, he could say, listen, yeah, you run the show. I'll give you my 2 cents. We'll work together. And then over time, if he's just a guy and they're like, yeah, we don't need Ryan Poles anymore. Yeah, good riddance.
Okay. I can see it. I mean, there's worse options.
I think it would just be like get a smart guy in the room who knows offense and can put together a defense and has been around the league and knows what's trending in the NFL today.
Does he have
knows
balls?
What he has. I think he does have testicles.
That's important because
based off of his name alone, I think he has testicles.
Well, not like literally. I'm talking about is he going to tell people like, hey, this is stupid as shit? Because that's something that we haven't had in a long time. That's something we haven't had since Lovie Smith. John Fox was on the gravy train home. Mark Trestman, Matt Nagy, they were all just really nice guys. They're just really kind dudes.
Hey,
usually doesn't go
never
well.
Forget we left Bruce Arians hanging in a hotel room with every inkling he was going to get the job. But because some fucking jagoff little Canadian guy, Mark Trestman, wrote a book on leadership, Phil Emery tore one off to in the bathroom and then decided
he FS1-2 in the bathroom.
That's our guy. And Mark Trestman had one good season with Jay Cutler, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And then it was a mutiny after that. So much talent on that team. Martell is just insane.
I have a feeling we are going to be waiting for a while on this one.
Well, they can't wait too long.
Yeah, they can.
This is the problem.
Depends on who they want. There's still guys that they're interviewing that are currently in the playoffs.
I look at it like this. If you get an interview and you get your socks knocked off and you're just like, you know what? It feels right. This is the guy. Just offer him. Don't let him leave the building.
They did it last time. They did that last time.
With Eberflusen?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
They hired him right away. He got hired right away.
No, because they hired him and then hired Ryan Poles.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They're like, we like him so much, we don't even care who our GM is.
Such a joke.
It's going to go bad. We know it. It is what it is.
If you ruin another quarterback, I don't know. Hey, you know what, Vince? We're 1-0 in 2025.
You want to know the one?
And the
That's
Bears
true.
beat the
We beat the
Packers.
fucking Packers. We beat them. They can't beat us this year. We won our last game. It's all that matters. And Matt Nagy's the head coach of the New York Jets, and I think that's funny. So,
Is it official?
in my brain, buddy.
Oh, okay. I thought like they just announced it.
I'm so
Well,
sure they're hiring him.
Let's
I'm
face
so
it,
sure.
the day after the Super Bowl's over, like that's when all the announcements are going to come out. So it's going to be like day after Super Bowl, Bears hire Brian Flores.
Yeah.
We probably spoke that into existence. Fuck us.
It's already been, dude. I think it's a consensus that he's the most Bears shit you can do.
Well, he ruined Tua. What is he going to learn?
That's what the thing. He's like, oh, he was under McConnell, so now he's different. It's like the defense is really good. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, but like,
hey,
Kevin McConnell's running the offense, dude.
You know the 7 games that Brian Flores' defense has given up 300 more yards or more.
Yeah,
you know, out of 4 of those games, you know who put up those yards? Ben
Jordan
Johnson.
Love? Oh, Ben Johnson. Gotcha. You know, I'd like to see
And then there's all these talks of like, if I'm the Bears, I'm calling the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a coward take today.
Oh, the Tomlin
I'm the
thing?
Bears. I'm calling the Pittsburgh Steelers and saying, how many draft picks is it going to take to get Mike Tomlin? Because his time's up. It's time for a change for both parties.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, yeah. Do you really think the fucking Steelers are going to be like generational head coach over the past 15 years? Yeah, no. He's out.
They're notorious to easily let go of head coaches historically.
They've had 3.
I know their entire existence. I'm not just gonna let them go. You fucking idiot.
It's insane how
There's
people
a lot of
think
idiots
that's
out there, Mike. There's a lot of idiots out
What about Gruden? I'm surprised Gruden's not coming in there feeling nicey.
there. I think there's still a little bit of stink on him right now that no one wants to touch.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's talk about our picks. I won this year, Vince.
You won. Congrats. There you go. This is an actually apt use for this. Good job. I suck. I'll never be good at this. I'll never be good at this.
Vince, you got the first year, you kicked me in the teeth, and then 2 years in a row now, I am spanking that ass.
That's true. You're spanking me, dude. You're Joy Tayloring me, if you will. It's a problem.
I'm FS. Never mind.
Allegedly.
FS wanting you. Okay. Well, let's talk about our picks, shall we?
Yes. So many of these games didn't matter. So let's breeze right through these babies. Ravens, Browns. Browns stink. Ravens good. Ravens go to the playoffs. Cool. Awesome.
Bailey's
Bengals,
happy,
Steelers.
not a top tier QB. Come on.
No shit, Sherlock, you know? Better than Mac Jones. Bengals, Steelers. Bengals win. But
don't make the playoffs.
I'm not getting malaria this year, friends. Thank you. Here's another one.
Vince doesn't get malaria.
Everybody cheer for
Yay.
me not getting a fucked up disease. That would be awesome. Steelers can't get out of their own way, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I just...
Now they get to go to Baltimore, and they're good against the Ravens, but...
They're going to get spacked up.
Nothing about Russell Wilson right now gives me any vote of confidence for that game coming up. We'll talk about that shortly. Panthers, Falcons. Bryce Young is good.
5 touchdowns? 5 touchdowns. Bryce Young.
Coach comes out after the game. We have our guy. I think they do. You see his no-look Steph Curry pass?
No.
He threw the ball, turned around. Ball hits the hands, touchdown. He was just like, shrugged it off, walked away. I'm like, I think he's cool now. He's cool now.
Well, I said it on Sunday. I was watching some Red Zone, and I'm like, yeah, he's good. He's proven he's good.
And Falcons, confusing team. Don't know what to do with them. Don't know what they're going to do next year. Kirk is just paid for nothing now. Penix is starting next year.
Yeah, Penix not that good.
But he's starting. I don't think he's bad.
I don't know if he's had enough. I don't know if he's had enough time. I think
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if he's bad. Like, he still puts up points. They got a lot of guys around him. Kirk is just a waste of money now, unfortunately.
True.
Titans gave up. Callahan stays. They get rid of their GM in a surprising move.
I don't know why they ever fired Mike Vrabel. But
It still
okay.
doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense, and that clearly, based on all the teams that are interested, nobody agreed with that move. Callahan could be good. It's just he doesn't have any. There's no talent on that team. That team sucks. Clearly,
Yeah,
they're the
and
worst team in the whole
honestly,
league
like,
this year.
if you're anybody, like, do you want Cam Ward? Do you want Shador Sanders? Like, if
Cam
those
Ward,
guys are
notorious
drafted last
second round
year,
draft pick, Mike.
I mean, in last year's draft class, he's a day 2 guy all day.
Yeah, I know, but I feel
You
like
know,
one of
that's
these
the
days
thing.
we're gonna have
Draft
to
classes
find
are so subjective.
100%, 100%. But even like last year, he might be like a 25th or something. We're gonna have to find somebody that'll go back and find all of our bad takes and just compile them into like freezing cold takes of Taxi Squad of just both mine and yours. Like this is what's gonna happen, and just like the wrong take. That was just wrong takes. I want to hear that.
Well, we should look back at that. Maybe every year we do a comb through of every episode last year and just kind of like look back on how terrible some of the takes were early in the season and then go from there.
That's a lot of listening hours, but I think we can do it.
Yeah,
Texans in the playoffs.
editing a video of us is enough to make you want to pull all your hair out of
That's
your head.
hey, you're
because
fucking
we
telling me,
talk.
bud. Just bullshit. FS1's all over the place. We're just
Mhm.
fucking around. Eagles beat the Giants. Drew Lock ruined the Giants for their draft, but it's okay, I guess. Dable stays.
It's the most Giants thing ever. I mean, the Giants are going to Giants just like how the Bears are going to Bear.
Yep.
Daboll, I think, is a good head coach. Doesn't seem like a lot of people like him. Jalen Hyatt notoriously just came out and just said, "Yeah, I don't like him."
He
then Malik
is better
Neighbors
than Eberflus.
That's a low bar.
I know, but still should have hired him. I'm still on the we should have hired Dayball train.
Well, it doesn't seem like his guys like him very much.
That's fine.
So,
Throw some balls.
I digress.
Colts beat the Jaguars. Who gives a shit? Commanders beat the
cares.
Cowboys.
Yeah, that game was closer than everybody expected. Trey Lance, how about it?
Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk it? Not I, not us.
The Bears beat the Packers.
Victorious.
First home win in 1,000 days, it feels like, or first away win on a Sunday.
First away win on a Sunday in I think 3 years.
What a game!
Impressive. Caleb's got that dog in him.
He's so good.
Whatever it is, he's very good at football. I thought it was just totally chalked. Some pretty terrible decision making, but what are you gonna do?
Dude, end of the game to fumble on a bubble screen that didn't exist. And you're like, Bears are going to Bears. Cairo puts it in at the end. They win the fucking game. And then all the Packers fans just go ape shit on the internet. And I was just giggling. I was like, I've been.
No, I love that we did that to them. No pun intended, because Jordan Love left the game with a hurt little fingy.
Yeah.
And then
he
elbow.
his fingy.
He hurt tender elbow, not tender knee. Tender
Malik
elbow.
Willis might be better, dude.
I don't think so.
might
But
be.
you know who does have tender knee?
Who
is Watson. Christian Watson, tendon
He
knee,
does.
tore his ACL. Unfortunate to see it.
He's out.
You never want to see anybody get injured. I don't care
No
if it's
shot.
the Packers or not. That's horrible. But
Yeah.
now what we did do is make them the lowest seed to play the Eagles in Philly.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of excited about. Although I'm a little nervous because the last time this happened, the Packers were the lowest seed and then went into Philly, beat Philly and Donovan McNabb, and went on to win a Super Bowl.
Yep. Let's not talk about that. That's bad juju.
Okay.
Go Bears.
Go Bears. We're back. Maybe.
Buccaneers, playoffs. Mike Evans gets 1,000 yards for how many seasons in a row? Like 10 in a row or something like that?
11.
11
seasons in a row of 1,000 yards receiving or more, which is
Did you like
insane.
Did you like the little
five
games
of those years was he had Jameis Winston throwing him the football.
Yeah, Jameis Winston gets yards.
Yeah.
What do you mean he gets yards? His stats were he was a 4,000-yard passer. He threw for 40 touchdowns that year. Threw 40 picks or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Or 38 touchdowns, something like that. Did you like the gamesmanship where it was like, all right, let him get this 5-yard out so he can get the 1,000 yards?
I love that stuff. Gino got paid. He got paid.
I thought it was
cool.
cool.
Other guys hit their bonuses. I love that stuff.
He was injured for 3 games, something like that, 2.5 games, and he still ended up doing it. Like, the Saints knew what was going on. They're like, give Mike his 5 yards so we can get over 1,000 and let's get on with this game. So I think it was good that they did that.
Yeah, if you're like the guy who knocks the pass down, you're a dickhead.
Yeah, like they all knew the situation. He wasn't gonna go gun it down the field. Like, it was just a quick little pass. You get over it, you finish it out.
Yeah, let the guy get his money. You're going to lose the game anyway. Spencer Rattler sucks at playing quarterback. Now, Baker Mayfield.
Winning in the beginning. They were winning in the beginning.
Baker Mayfield played his ass off. I would like to point that out. Baker Mayfield with the rush yards. He just showed up.
In the second half.
Yes, he did.
First half, it was like, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
The Saints were up like 14 in the first half. You're like, what the fuck's going on, dude? And then
I'm like, wait. I'm like, how are the Saints winning this football game? It couldn't compute, really.
Who wants to coach there? Speaking of places to coach, why the hell would you want to go to the Saints?
I don't know.
There's nothing there that's redeemable. I don't know why anybody would.
Rattler is in him. Maybe I don't know what you do.
Old defense, cap hell, no quarterback, old running backs. Olave?
Yeah, Sean Payton really put them in a shitty scenario.
You win a Super Bowl. I guess that's what that is. Patriots beat the Bills with backups. Who gives a fuck?
Nobody cares.
Chargers beat the Raiders. Chargers in the playoffs. Congratulations. Good. That's the Harbaugh effect. 49ers. Season from hell over? Is that what they're happy about? Because what the hell was that?
Yeah, you got real questions now. McCaffrey's probably got to retire. Debo's cooked.
Gone.
Brandon Ayuk comes back because they just signed him.
Purdy on a contract deal next year. Like,
what do you do?
They're too old. They got to
if you're the Bears, do you just hey, what is it going to take to get Shanny?
No, they're not getting rid of him. They're keeping John Lynch and they're keeping Shanahan and they're letting him retool because they've been successful.
Retooling, I'll retool you.
Hey, the Bills did it, and they're in the playoffs right now, so it worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bro Nix, welcome to the playoffs. Good for you.
Bro Nix, pretty good at football.
Chiefs, Carson Wentz doesn't score. No shit.
Yeah, fair.
No shit, Sherlock.
Fair.
Rams also in the playoffs, lose to the Seahawks. Geno Smith, congrats on your money. What did he get, like 5 mil, 3 mil, something like that?
I think 3 million because he threw for over 2,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
So good for him.
Is he still the starter next year, for the record? Seattle?
I don't know. He shouldn't be, probably.
I don't know.
Fun little career resurgence, but like.
Yeah. What are you going to do with that?
There's not a lot of.
Does Aaron Rodgers Matt Flynn it and go to Seattle?
Aaron Rodgers goes to Minnesota. No, he could. He very well could, but I don't think he's gonna.
No. Sam D to the moon.
Yeah. Jets beat the Dolphins in a weird game.
I called that game. I was so surprised. And then Tyreek Hill comes out after the game and just basically said, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, which, that guy he has too many kids to not be getting playoff checks. So he needs to go somewhere where he's going to get paid a little bit more so he can pay for his kids. That's all he's got to worry about right now.
That's fair.
More kids than touchdown catches this year. Congratulations, Tyreek Hill. And this is the game. This Vikings-Lions game, what the fuck was like? Granted, I said the Lions were going to win, but holy shit, they destroyed them.
It was close until it wasn't. This game was weird.
They beat them everywhere on the field.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings just straight up gave up.
I don't know if they gave up.
They did, dude. They destroyed them.
I just feel like it was a game until it wasn't. It got to a point in the third quarter after Jahmyr Gibbs' second touchdown.
Yep.
Where you were just like, okay, they can't move the ball on offense. Sam Darnold was rattled. He couldn't hear clearly because that place was rocking.
Hey, you make your team good, and then the big city that you play in that everybody loves football, they end up going to the games and getting loud. Who would have thought? What a concept.
Well, of course. And I don't think he'd played in that hostile of an environment all year.
In division, no.
Game. Yeah. And the Lions, hey, they're piecemealing this team together. David Montgomery's coming back for the first round.
Yeah.
The round of the playoffs that they get in because they got the bye.
Do they need him?
Well,
Jahmyr Gibbs is a god.
It adds a whole other layer to that offense.
It does.
Man. They're really good. And I believe Jahmyr Gibbs, let the boy cook. 4 touchdowns, 190 yards. Insane.
Yeah, 139 on the ground too. Buddy. Yeah.
Really good at football.
This spin zone may be good for both teams.
Yeah, I think so. I kept getting a lot of texts be like, is Sam Darnold better than Jared Goff? I think he is.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
No. All right. And I have.
Why?
Yes, I know. Okay.
Why? Give me your reasoning, dude.
Here's
Go
why.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Here's why. Sam Darnold, athletically, overall, is a better quarterback overall than Jared Goff.
Physically talented,
Jared
yes.
Goff is a game manager behind a very impressive offensive line. And he has Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta and Penei Sewell. So you got this system that caters to everything he does perfectly, and he runs it.
Comparing it to 1 year, Mike.
Sam Darnold has had 5 games in a row of 300 plus yards passing.
He's good
before that game. So I think, like I said, as an arm talent, as an overall athletic ability and talent on the field, and what translates to being a quarterback, I believe Sam Darnold is the better quarterback. And if somebody was like Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, I'm going Sam D.
Yeah, but this year, sure.
I've seen it for years with him.
Yeah, Jared Goff has Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sam Darnold has...
I know he has Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson. I get it. And Jordan Addison. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then you look at Jared Goff.
He also doesn't have an offensive line.
Which I agree. But Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl with Sean McVay. Jared Goff has been successful with the Lions for 3 years now. Jared Goff, best quarterback at Cal in the last 15 years or whatever when he was there. Jared Goff turned his high school team around. Jared Goff wins games, dude.
I'm not saying the guy isn't a winner.
You can't point to a place where he hasn't won. At the end of the day, you got to win games. And Jared Goff has been better than Sam Darnold at it in almost every juncture.
That's fair.
Including this year.
I get it. I'm just saying athletically, I believe Sam Darnold's far more gifted.
I asked you this last year, though, and you're not saying Sam Darnold with the right mind. Not in your USC mind. You're not saying Sam Darnold last year.
Not last year.
This is a 1 year thing.
I need something to cling on to. Okay.
I know, but you can't
you think
Jared
it's just
Goff's
a 1 year thing?
Do
you think if Sam Darnold comes out next year and blows it out of the water, is he still that guy?
I don't think he's bad. I think he's good. I just don't think he's better than Jared Goff. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's better than Jared Goff.
All right. I disagree.
Jared Goff
everything I just rolled out.
He threw 1 interception until week 8 this year. He was game managing better than anybody has. And the team. You can't say the guy's worse because the team's good. That's.
Well, no, I believe the situations he's been in to take and lead a team, he's been great. And I give him that much.
And he has playoff experience.
That's
Sam
fair.
doesn't. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Okay. I end this week at 9-7. Vince ends 8-8. Vince needed 3 wins in order to pull off the year, but he didn't. So
that's a lot of the reason why I went 8-8 too, because there's a couple Hail Marys in those picks this week. I took the Giants over the Eagles. I'm like, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. We got this. All right, let's talk about some playoffs, shall we?
We got
wild
matchups,
card
baby.
round.
From the top, AFC, 2 games on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. Chargers, Texans. You know the Texans, the last 4 or 5 times they've been in the playoffs, every single one of their games has been Saturday at 3:30.
Really?
They just get placed. They get placed in Saturday at 3:30 because it's the Texans. They always do. Remember that Arian Foster game? That Arian Foster game that he went crazy? That was on a Sunday at 3:30.
I do remember that Matt Schaub, of all people, was a quarterback
what a
back then. We'll talk about a resident nobody.
They had Brian Cushing on that team, too. What a guy.
Brian Cushing, USC legend, out of his fucking mind.
J.J. Watt.
Young J.J. Watt.
Yep. 3:30 on a Saturday. That's when that game happened. They're playing the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert getting a taste of the playoffs right now.
I want to know what that's like.
Who's winning this game, Mike? In Houston.
Give me the Chargers.
I think they're going to win too.
I believe that, Harbaugh may do it.
I can't, something about him. He's like a wizard, dude. He's like Gandalf the Grey.
He's him.
He's just like Gandalf.
He's him.
He comes in.
You and all your fucking Tolkien references. Here we go. Vince is going to be like, oh, that's like this. Oh, well, it's.
No, outside of that, okay, Gandalf.
It's like Fimbly Nimbly's hammer of the dwarfs from
Gimli. You fuck.
Yeah.
It's Gimli, dude.
Oh, my bad.
They're Durins, dude, not Feely, whatever that is. It's a lonely mountain, dude. Okay.
Take your virgin book and go in a hole.
Whatever. Get out of here. Anyway, Chargers, good running game with supposedly the injured Ravens running backs that they had last year. Worked out, wasn't an issue. Quentin Johnson
literally all
Quentin
the Ravens
Johnson learned how to catch a ball. Quentin Johnson catches balls now.
He still had a couple terrible drops, but yeah, to your point.
I know, but last week he had 12 catches or something like that.
Yeah, and J.K. Dobbins is back, and Gus Edwards is doing his deal, and you gotta love to see it.
So, and Texans injured, obviously. C.J. Stroud not as good as he was last year. I didn't see anything could happen in the playoffs. We've seen it. I'm taking the Chargers too. They're heating right now. They're heating heavy.
No parity there. All right, let's move on to the next one. Steelers
Ravens.
Prime time, baby.
One caveat, the Steelers are good against the Ravens. If there's a team they're good against, it's the Ravens. I don't think they're going to win this game.
That was at home at like week 8.
Yeah, but no, it was like the last 3 years. It's been like Michigan, Ohio State. It's like the Steelers play the Ravens, and it's tough.
Yeah, the Ravens are at home. The way they're playing right now, yeah, no shot.
And they have like Lamar has to prove MVP, regular season. Might win another one this year.
Lamar is on his road. He can go the distance.
He needs to.
And he might win an MVP.
Not saying he's going to lose
his
job, but he's got, dude, it's him or Josh, and I think Lamar might win it again.
What's so fascinating about all that is Joe Burrow's out there with like 50 touchdowns, and he may not win an MVP. It's like,
yeah, you got to be a good team.
Just all because if he's not in the playoffs. And what's bananas about that whole Cincinnati team is like if there's those 3 games you lost by 2 points or less, go in a different direction, you're in the playoffs, no doubt about it.
Well, they got the passing leader, they have the receiving yard leader, and they have the sack leader on their team.
And it's bananas to me.
And everybody else sucked. It was crazy.
And it's like, it's just, there was like legit 3 or 4 games that were 2 or 3 points that they lost. And that's the balance that goes to show you how fickle this league is. But overall, give me the Ravens.
They have to win this game. There's no way Russell wins this game. He looked like booty cheeks the last 2 weeks. So I'm taking the Ravens too.
No parity there. All right.
I don't think we're going to have parity here either. Bo Nix, good job, buddy. What a time. What a time.
Bo Nix, in a redraft, you may go over Michael Penix. But to me, it's like Sean Payton knew what he had, knew leaving that interview what it was. And
did they look at his backpack and he's like, yeah, I got him. I think he saw what he brought in his backpack and it was like play sheets and shit. And they were like, yeah, this is the man. This is the guy I want.
Oh, he looks like Woody Harrelson.
A little bit.
And he's like low key fast.
He is.
He can run.
Athletic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like athletic. Chaos. But
it would be really cool if the Broncos draft Tez Johnson for him because him and Tez Johnson are like boys, basically like their family, adopted Tez Johnson. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. But the Bills win this game.
Yeah, Bills. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, because speaking of guys that need to prove something, Josh is like, get me to the Chiefs again. It's a 3-horse race in the AFC. It's Ravens, Bills, or Chiefs.
Okay,
pretty easy to say.
NFC Sunday, baby. NFC Sunday, Monday.
Jalen Hurts limited practice today. Concussion protocol still has to practice before it's known. So probably by the time you're listening to this, it's announced. But right now, he's still up in the air. He's playing.
This is all just he's playing. He's playing. He'll have a rushing
Love?
touchdown or two. May not.
Yeah. Malik Willis playing a playoff game for the Packers on the road at the Link. Come on.
This is the thing. I don't see how the Packers get past an Eagles team with Saquon going to be fully healthy, had a week off. I mean, yeah.
But if they do?
No.
If they do, I'm going to get
no Jair Alexander.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not possible, but it is. And if they do, I'm going to get scared. I don't want this to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Packers beat the Eagles in the Link. It's like, oh, fuck, they have all the momentum. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no. Give me birds. All birds.
For sure. I'm taking the birds. For sure, they're going to win this game. But if they don't, it's going to be bad for me.
Give me the birds, babe.
All of us. Commanders, Bucks. Fun little matchup, huh?
I like this matchup. It depends on what Bucks team you're going to get.
Right.
It's like very hit or miss. It's like, what Bucks team are you going to get this week?
Bucky needs to run his ass off is what needs to happen.
If Bucky can be Bucky and Rachaad White can be the balance that they need and they come in playing well, I'm very happy for Baker. I think Baker's a dog. They're going to be playing at home. Yeah, give me the
Buccaneers.
Bucks. I want the Bucks.
Really lucky being in the NFC South, though. I will say that.
I also do not want to hear any more of this Jaden Daniels.
Jaden
Daniels. Sorry, wrong Daniels.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, Caleb deal. I don't want to hear any more about that.
I agree.
So I want the Bucks to go in, win decisively.
Anybody with a brain knows that it's more than a quarterback in situations like this, obviously, but I agree with you. It's annoying. I think the Buccaneers are NFC South merchants a lot of times. I'm not saying they're bad, but I am saying that they play in a shitty division, and it has made it very easy for them to win they win the division every year. I don't know if they win this game. I don't know if they win this game. I think the Commanders win this game. I think they win this game on the road on Sunday, 7 p.m.
Rookie quarterback winning on the road against a very, very good Buccaneers team.
A pretty good Buccaneers team that looked beatable in the first half of the game against the Saints. The Commanders are a lot better than the Saints. Defense is playing pretty well.
You don't think Todd Bowles puts together a plan that's going to ace a rookie quarterback? Because I think he does.
I think the Jets would say that Todd Bowles doesn't know how to coach against anybody.
I think Todd Bowles knows how to coach defense and knows how to coach it very well.
Yeah, but you got to spy. There's always an extra eye open.
I love the parody, Vince. I love the parody.
The Commanders. If there's going to be an upset this week, it's the Commanders.
That's your upset. Okay.
This is the wild one that the Rams get a home playoff game against the Vikings, even though the Vikings went 14-2 this year. Or 3 or whatever it was.
And it may not happen.
And it might happen in your neck of the woods.
That'd be fucking crazy.
So wildfires in California, the yearly wildfires that happen all the time now, are threatening the game at SoFi. Phoenix would be the alternative spot, a.k.a. Glendale, for Monday, if it's not feasible to do in Los Angeles, which is technically a neutral site.
Yeah, they ran out of water in LA. Man,
yeah.
Some of that money they gave to Ukraine would be great for us right now.
There you go. Welcome to the show, Will Kane.
No, I'm just saying.
Here we go.
Hey, dollars. Hey, it's basic economics. I'm just saying it'd be really nice.
Dollars
Same
make
thing
sense.
with North Carolina.
Yeah. They ran out of water in Vegas. You know that?
Yeah.
Because they never had it in the fucking first place.
Lake Mead's at a very low level. Hey, water is scarce in the desert, I tell you.
100%. It's almost like
I'm here.
That's the notorious thing in the desert. Thoughts on the game? I know you're taking the Vikings already.
I'm taking the Vikings for the simple fact that they lost a pretty shitty game.
Yeah.
And I think O'Connell wants to give it to McVay. His former alma mater was there, won a Super Bowl there. He knows how to coach against him. He knows what Stafford does well. He knows what Kupp does well. a lot of that offense is the same, minus Puka Nacua.
Yep.
I think the Vikings redeem themselves and go back and play the Lions all over again.
That would be interesting. That would be fun. I'd like to see that. Kevin O'Connell also going for an extension on his contract right now.
Oh, he's gonna get it.
He should. You want to know what would make it a lot sweeter?
Winning a playoff game.
Boom. I think they do it. I think this is a close game. I think the Rams in the playoffs are like a scary little team.
They're motivated. They're back, and this is Stafford's this is like his last dance.
And Stafford won a Super Bowl, and having a Super Bowl winning quarterback in this situation, there's only 2 of them in this playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's him and Mahomes. So if there's anybody that knows how to play in the playoffs, it's Stafford. So, or, Jared Goff, he got there a couple times. So a couple one times. Jalen Hurts got there one time, but didn't make it happen. I think the Vikings win, but I think it's close.
Okay. Wow, I thought you were going all Rams the way you were building that guy up.
No, because I think Sam Darnold has something to prove. I think O'Connell has something to prove. But I am saying it's a toss-up. I will take the Vikings in the toss-up for the reasons that you gave. But I would not be surprised if the Rams win this game. But I'm taking the Vikings.
Interesting.
NFC's harder than it is the AFC right now.
NFC is hard. I believe that out of all games, this game could go to the Rams.
Yeah.
At home, 2 coaches that know each other really well.
In Glendale.
maybe in Glendale. It'd be insane if it's neutral site. If it's a neutral site playoff game, the NFL is probably like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Minnesota's.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Manifest destiny all the way to Glendale.
They're like, ooh, well, we just did a neutral site playoff game, so we could do more of those, just like the college football playoff. Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think we could use the Rose Bowl?
Think about that.
Slowly
That'd be
getting
sick.
there.
That'd be sick.
Maybe we do it on a Saturday night when the sun's setting. It's like, this is just a college football game.
This is just a college football game that you guys put the NFL twisty deal on,
Yep.
I mean, we could technically play a football game as the NFL at the Texas State Fair, right? It's like, that's the Red River rivalry. What do you think?
Maybe we do like we put a team in Oklahoma and we do Oklahoma versus the Cowboys or something like that. I don't know. It's just an idea.
I don't know if there's the thing. I don't know if an NFL team would ever work in the state of Oklahoma.
No way. No shot.
No, they like themselves a little too many of them college football teams.
Yeah, they're sooning. It's too soon.
They're sooning and thundering, no doubt about it. Well,
facts.
It's a fun week, man. It's a
is.
fun week. We thank you for joining us once again. And
wish me luck today, bud.
Books. Wish Vince luck today because his Golden Domers are going up
boys.
for it.
On,
I'm sure this is Jubilee year, Vince. So the Catholics are on high alert. So prayers are with T's and P's with your boys. And we'll see if Riley Leonard has what it takes.
Let's do it, boys. Come on, please.
Let's do it. Well, people, as always, we appreciate you joining us. It's another week down. It's another week in the books. If you haven't yet, please be sure you subscribe on the platform you're currently listening to. And also share with a friend, right? Share with a kid, right? Maybe you got a nephew. Maybe you got a niece that's into the sports world.
Share with
maybe
above like 12,
Funkle or a Fant of age appropriate.
Don't
so
show your 6-year-old nephew the Strange Unusual today. Don't do
because
that.
it's the year. It's the year of the uncles and the aunts. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah,